In the world today, more people than not are on social media. This is something that spreads amongst children, teens, people in their 20s, mid-aged, and elders. People of all ages use social media. With that being said, social media is something that it's entertaining. It's convenient. It's something that allows us to keep in touch with our friends, our family, our loved ones, people that may live across the world that we may not be able to keep in touch with otherwise. But with that being said, there's a major problem in the world of social media, in the systems that it uses to grab our attention today. These things take a toll on us individually and our mental health, and as well as taking a toll on us as a society. According to The Social Dilemma on Netflix, the problem is that since these apps are for free for users, they generate revenue by advertising other businesses or products on their apps. This makes the value of each app based on how much they are used. This is because the more that eyes are on it, the more valuable those apps are for advertisements, so they can charge more to advertise stuff on their app. An app is used more when it's more intriguing to the user. So this leaves app developers in a position of needing to make their app the best and most attention-grabbing one that it can be. With the system that's been created, the real product now is the attention of us, the user, the person holding the phone. Apps like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Google all use algorithms that gather your personal information, including your current mood, where you work, past relationships, current relationships, your current location, and they use all these things to grab your attention and to keep your attention for as long as they possibly can. These apps used to be simply based on showing you what it is that you chose to subscribe to in a chronological order without any algorithms and without any manipulation. The solution that I have for this problem is for the government to put a ban on these harmful algorithms and harsh restriction on social media's advertising efforts because they're addictive and they intentionally cause us harm. First, I'll discuss the deep effect on the brain that social media has, and then second, I'll talk about the harms that it has on society as a whole. My first argument is that we can avoid addiction and harm to many people's mental health by restricting social media's freedom to grab our attention. According to helpguide.org, much like a gambling compulsion or an addiction to nicotine, alcohol, or drugs, social media can cause psychological cravings. When you receive a like, when you receive a share, or when a favorable person gives you a comment or a reaction to a post, it can trigger the release of dopamine in the brain. This is the same reward chemical that follows winning on a slot machine, taking a bite of chocolate, or lighting up a cigarette, even. They're telling us that social media can take on the same role as drugs or gambling in one's life. The more one uses social media, the more they're susceptible to taking the same actions in order to experience the reward that they received before. I think this poses a serious threat to the mental health of people today. Most everybody uses social media, with the numbers of people that are on it rising daily. And there's not enough information on how to avoid addiction or how to minimize the effect that social media has on you, other than to just use it less. Even telling people to use it less is comparable to telling a cigarette smoker just to smoke less cigarettes. A different solution must be attempted. My second argument is that social media, modeled the way it is harmful to society as a whole, and without restriction will cause us to be more and more divided. The documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma outlines this very clearly. The documentary states that not only does social media feed you the information that you want to see, as in everything you agree with, and everything that you're already interested in, but it also feed you people's opinions that are the same as your opinions. This is something that leaves you in an echo chamber, feeling like everybody around you agrees with the things that you believe in, and they feel the same way that you do. When that happens, it makes you think that other people that think differently or they may not agree with you are toxic or evil, or that they may be in an out-group per se. They also state in the documentary that in order to grab attention on social media, you have to put crazy and attention-grabbing things onto your page. This leads to a problem in terms of news on social media and the widespread of fake news on social media. Fake news is when people post things on social media that are exaggerated, taken on in context, or flat out not true. This is something that in our culture today has become extremely prevalent and something that we haven't been able to lock down entirely. This leads to a problem of million people seeing things that are not true and believing they are true. When they see it, because it's meant to grab their attention, they take it and they share it with other people. And then that spreads around things across the entire world, including millions of other people on social media, of information that is not true. This causes more and more division. This causes more and more harm amongst people, and this causes us to divide as a country as a whole. This has started an entire culture of taking things out of context in order to make somebody look the way that someone may want them to look, an environment that is largely based on false information and biased stories. This sort of information being spread, it can be very dangerous to our society as a whole, as our society starts to lose sight of truth. In conclusion, the system that is the online world of social media is a problematic one for us as individuals and as a society as an entirety. It contains harmful algorithms and systems that intend to make us addicted and to lure us into using them more and more, even though they cause us more and more harm the more and more that we use them. This causes each individual harms to our brain and to our mental health. Social media divides us as a country, making us feel unable to have an objective view on anybody else's beliefs or views but our own, and it makes us believe tons of information that was never true to begin with in order to sway what it is we think. The solution to this problem is to put restrictions on social media and ban the current algorithms. Thank you very much.